of consciousness is its content. Therefore, there is no division as consciousness separate from its content. I can extend or widen the consciousness laterally or horizontally, horizontally or vertically, but it is still within that field. I can extend it saying God is immense. That's my belief. And I've extended my consciousness by imagining that it is extended. Whatever thought has created in the world and inside me is the content. The whole world, especially in the West, is based on thought. Its activities, its explorations, its achievements, its religions, and so on, is fundamentally the result of thought. With its images and so on, so on, so on. So that is the content of consciousness. Right?
Right.
Now, from that arises, what is death? Is death the ending of consciousness with its content? Or is death a continuity of that consciousness? Your consciousness is not different from mine. It may have little variations, little modifications, little more expansion, little contraction, and so on, but essentially, consciousness is yours as well as mine. Because I'm attached to my house, so are you. I'm attached to my knowledge. I'm attached to my family. I'm in despair, whether I live in India or in England or in America, whatever it is. So it is that consciousness is common. It's irrefutable. You follow, sir?
Oh, it is, yes. Yes, I do follow closely.
So, see what happens. And I never have examined this content. I've never looked at it closely, and I'm frightened. Frightened of something which I call death. The unknown. Let's call it for the moment the unknown. So, I'm frightened. There's no answer to it. Somebody comes along and says, yes, my friend, there's life after death. I have proofs for it. I know it exists because I met my brother, my son. We'll go into that presently. So, I, frightened, anxious, fearful, diseased, you follow? I accept that tremendously. Instantly, say yes. There is reincarnation. I'm going to be born next life. And that life is related to karma. The word karma means to act.
Yes.
Not all the rigmarole involved in it, just to act.
Yes.
See what is involved. That is, if I believe in reincarnation, that is, this consciousness with its content, which is the me, my ego, myself, my activities, my hopes, pleasure, all that is my consciousness. That consciousness is going to be born next life, which is the common consciousness of you and me, and him and her. That's going to be born next life. And they say, if you behave properly now, you will be rewarded next life. That's part of the
That's part
causation.
of the content of consciousness.
Causation and the effect.
Yes.
And so behave, because you're going to be punished next life. You will be rewarded next life. That's the whole of the Eastern world is based, believes in reincarnation. So what happens? I have taken comfort in a belief, but actually I don't carry it out. Which says, behave now. Be good now. Don't hurt another now.
Now, actually, the idea is that I should behave now. We've been to this ought stuff. See? And I should this, I should that, I should the other because of what will take later. But then I take comfort in the thought that it's an endless process, and it's somehow built into it that I'll get another chance.
Another chance.
So I can sort of stall. I can stall, can't I?
I can stall, I can postpone, I can misbehave.
Yes, because we're all destined to make it in the end.
Eventually.
Yes, which shows that there's no grasp of what, throughout these conversations, you've been talking about, the immediacy and urgency of act.
Act, that's right.
Yes, 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 I
So you see, the Hindus probably were the originators of this idea. Cause, effect. And the effect will be modified by next causation. So there is this endless chain. And this is endless. We'll break it sometime. Therefore, it doesn't matter what you do now. Believe gives you great comfort in believing that you will continue, you will be with your brother, wife, husband, whatever it is. But in the meantime, don't bother too seriously. Don't take life too seriously.
Exactly. Yes, yes.
Have a good time, in fact. Enjoy yourself or do whatever you want to do. Pay a little next life, but carry on.
I was speaking to a well-known Hindu teacher about this, and I made this very remark that you have just stated. And I thought it would have some force.
And
I said, you see, there's no hope of stopping repeating if an act is not made immediately with respect to this. Therefore, in terms of the content of the consciousness of a whole people that basks in this notion, there can be nothing but an endless repetition and no true concern.
What did he say?
All he did was laugh, as though I had somehow perceived something which most people apparently are not really bothering their heads to look at. But the extraordinary thing to me was that he showed no concern for what he discerned intellectually.
So that's what they are, hypocrites. You follow, sir? They are hypocrites when they believe that and do something quite contrary.
Precisely. I understand what you mean. What you're saying there is a usage of the biblical notion of hypocrite in that strict sense.
In the strict sense.
Yes, in a very strict sense. In our next conversation, could we continue with this?
Yes,
because it seems to me that...
there's a great deal involved.
Splendid. I do so look forward to that.
Going to.